One of the biggest weather styles in all of competitive right now is none other than snow, and with this particular comp of Articuno and Abomasnow, it's actually a pretty deadly core that most teams will need to worry about. In today's video, we're going to be using Articuno on a snow team to see why this is actually really good, and why this even made a strong showing at Worlds. If you guys enjoy and want to see some more content like this, of course, like and subscribe for more, and with that said, let's get into the team we'll be using today. So today's team is going to consist of an Articuno and Abomasnow team with Brightpowder, Snow Cloak, Articuno, and a Tera Water Light Clay Abomasnow. With Abomasnow, we can use this as a really good Veil setter in order to try and get past most opponents, due to the fact that these screens will help Articuno become essentially unkillable. And with a Tera Ground set up Articuno, we can not only clear our weaknesses to Steel, but also our weakness to Rock, which is really good. With Tera Blast, we can counter most Pokemon like Heatran that would otherwise put up a really big threat against Ice types, and with the Blizzard as well, in tandem with Tera Blast, we put up a really good 50-50 against Tera Grass Heatran, unlike what most Pokemon can actually do here. With Landorus, we're rocking an Assault Vest set, which with Tera Water can make us into an actually really good Urshifu pivot. We have also a Tera Grass Heatran, which is just a really good Pokemon, and benefits a lot of Hail teams due to the fact that we can put up really good 50-50s into most Hail counters. We have a Torn, which is just Mental Herb with Tailwind, in order to try and not only give us a backup setter for weather with Snowscape in case of opposing Torn do clear for Rain Dance or even Sunny Day. And then finally we have a single striker Urshifu actually with Tera Poison, which is really good for defensive matchups into Pokemon like Fluttermane, while still allowing us a really good strong offensive Dark type that can crit through most opponent screens. If you want to try the team yourself, Reynolds on screen and the pace will be in the description below. And with that said, let's get into the battles today. Okay, and we're here with game number 1. We're taking on a team consisting of Torn, Sneasler, Rillaboom, Fluttermane, Volcarona, and Magnezone. Magnezone's definitely pretty interesting, but it does actually have a pretty good matchup into us, so we will need to be careful about this. I do think that my Hail core is honestly a pretty strong lead. This should match up pretty well into most things that my opponent might want to do. For example, it's a great matchup into the Rillaboom leads. I think the one thing that I might lead with instead might be Urshifu. Urshifu actually could match up specifically well into Sneasler plus Rillaboom. I think there is some merit to this lead. I think most of the time, though, they probably lead off with like Torn Volk or Torn Fluttermane. Maybe Torn Rillaboom even, but I feel like Torn is involved in there, and without... Rillaboom really kind of has to be the mon that leads for Urshifu to be viable, because I would much rather backline this instead. And then I think that my final mon will probably be Heatran. My opponent's team actually does kind of struggle to take out Heatran once I go for Tera, because the only real checks to that are Sneasler and Volcarona, both of which I can definitely muscle with Veil, so I'm actually pretty confident here. Good luck, have fun to my opponent, and let's see what we can get done. I feel like this Articuno actually goes pretty hard in this matchup. And Articuno actually has impressed me this gen. If you asked me before the format if I thought Articuno would be good, I actually would have told you I thought it would be terrible. Well, I thought it would be slightly better than Moltres, but I didn't think Moltres would be good to begin with. But Articuno's impressed me. It's a mon that I admittedly was wrong on. Okay, so Magnezone leads. Magnezone's kind of terrifying, but thankfully we do have the Tera Ground, which can actually smack this pretty silly. What I am going to proceed to do is I'm going to go for an Aurora Veil this turn. If my opponent lets me do this, then that's fine, good on them. And I'm going to go for Tera, and I'm just going to take out the Magnezone outright. We'll still have Snow Cloak, so we can still dodge things like Tornadus hits, especially if it does have Icy Wind, I guess, but Icy Wind won't do that much damage to us, frankly, even without Veil going up. Our Abomasnow does have 36 speed, so if we either A, take out the Magnezone, which means that it has to not Tera here, which... it's a possibility. I think there's a chance they don't expect a Tera Ground immediately. But also B, ooh, Sunny Day. Okay, good play, good play. One that I kind of wish I clicked, in all honesty, but I'm glad. Okay, they did Volt Twitch, perfect. This is great. So we can at least take out the Magnezone. That's a huge offensive threat that we're clearing, because Magnezone could have actually done some serious damage to my team. So I'll more than take this. They're sturdy, okay. Still honestly fine. That's good to know at the very least. What I can proceed to do now is I can go for Freeze Dry right into Torn, and then I can go for Ice Shard, pick off the Magnezone. If they switch, that's fine. It's still good damage, frankly. And if my opponent's going to go for Heat Wave, I'm willing to trade the Abomasnow at this point, because Articuno will just do enough damage offensively to this team. We'll have killed the Torn, we'll have gotten Magnezone down to basically bottom health. And I guess if Volcarona Sash for whatever reason, I mean, it's not terribly uncommon, but if it is Sash, we can at least get it down to where we can pick that off as well, which is good. So I'm kind of content at this point with our damage. Okay, we've gotten this down pretty weak at least. We found out that Volcarona is leftover, so we'll probably gain back all of that health, which I'm okay with this. We'll go for an Ice Shard into the Torn here, and I'm going to proceed to go for a Roost here. If Volcarona goes for Quiver Dance, I'm okay with this. I would frankly much rather just make sure that I'm taking out the Torn with Abomasnow, and then I could later on preserve hits, because they'll most likely go for a Heat Wave. Ooh, we didn't take out Torn. Very unfortunate. They are going to Quiver here, that's fine. They're going to definitely go for like a Bleak Wind plus like probably a Bug Buzz or a Heat Wave. I could just go right into my Heatran this turn, and I'll have the Articuno pretty healthy at least, so I can go for a Blizzard on the following turn. Well, even just on this turn, frankly. So we'll go for a Blizzard here. It's at least kind of damage on Volk, especially if it does go for Tera. And then meanwhile, for the Torn, at the very least, we can just pick it off. So I'm okay with this. I can still definitely pick off Volcarona. I have enough things like Heatran and Articuno together can do enough damage. And I'll also have the... Okay, they're going to go get Giga Drain. Okay, that actually doesn't do a lot. I'm more than okay with this. Bleak Wind goes off, Heatran avoids. Okay, they do some serious damage with that. But thankfully, again, we can pick off the Torn at the very least. And thankfully, they're going for Giga Drains, which is good. I'm going to switch out Articuno and just go right into Abomasnow here. Just to try and get the Snow Warning and the Snow Cloak back. Abomasnow's kind of useless at this point, but at least Articuno can maybe do some work with the Snow up. And plus, we'll weaken the Sun attacks, which is good, because that'll help a lot with, like, the Urshifu, for example. Actually, what I could do instead is I can go for... No, so I do kind of need to go for this, actually, yeah. We'll go right into Abomasnow here. Because, again, I think the Articuno or Urshifu will, frankly, give me more options in the endgame. Sneasler, if it wants to just go for the kill, it will go for the kill right now into my Heatran, and there's not a lot I can do about that. So I think I would rather just try and get the Sneasler, not the Sneasler, the Articuno plus the Urshifu in the back line, if anything. I think it gives me the most options here, but we'll kind of have to play the field and see. Abomasnow does come in this turn, though. If I get the opportunity to, if they maybe just value targeting Heatran instead, then I think I'll just Ice Shard the Sneasler. Yep, they go for the Heatran kill. Okay, so that was always going to kill anyway. I'm okay with this. Thankfully, though, I can just go right into Urshifu this turn, which is good. Urshifu Articuno is going to kind of have to beg it out for me, though. Ooh, they're gonna miss. Okay, that's actually pretty big. That's pretty big. Okay. So what I think I need to do now is I think I need to value taking out the Sneasler here, which means that I should just go for dual priority. Yeah, that just means... Oh, shit, I went to Articuno. I meant to go for the other one. Okay, well, my play is to go for a Roost here, and hope I can gain enough back. And then meanwhile, I do need to go for Ice Shard into Sneasler, just for damage. They are at -1, so yeah, that's okay damage. They're gonna hit the close combat. Okay, unfortunate. Yeah, because I made the misplay there, I kind of had to bank on the Snow Cloak and Brightpowder activating, and unfortunately it did not here. So I'm pretty sure I just lose the game. I can't really see a world where I don't lose the game at this point, because I should die to Heat Wave. That was pretty obvious, at least gonna go off, and then yeah, I don't think Urshifu can win the game at this point. It could have won if I got Urshifu in first and then went for like a dual priority. That could have maybe worked. But even still, again, it wasn't exactly like super in my favor. I think my opponent just definitely outplayed me. I think I also should have maybe popped Landorus. Landorus could have been decent over Urshifu, I think, in hindsight. Especially with the Assault Vest, I think I could have done some serious work here. But it is what it is. Yeah, my opponent's team didn't really like taking on Landorus, and Urshifu wasn't the best mon in hindsight. Oh, that's fine. We'll get you guys in game number 2. Peace out, guys. Okay, for team number 2, I'm pretty sure we're taking on the Worlds team, if I remember correctly. I think it's the one that won. I mean, it's at least a variation of it, to be fair. I don't actually know if Rental's up for that. But if there is, I'll have to find it, because I did want to cover that on the channel. Regardless, though, in terms of my team, I can definitely find the open sheet for this at the very least, off of Victory Road. Victory Road 2023 Worlds, here we go. Perfect. Okay, so open sheet, here we go. Okay, so this is definitely interesting. Nothing too crazy here. My Hail Core actually should do pretty decent at this, realistically. I bring like Hail Core. Tera Articuno actually goes pretty hard here, because either I can break Iron Hands with like Freeze Dry, or I can break it with Tera Blast, and either way that should be decent. And yeah, with Terra Ground especially, they actually don't really break my team outside of Urshifu and Pow. I'll need to definitely bring my Landorus. I feel like Landorus and Torn is probably my backline. I kind of like Lando Torn, actually. I could also just lead Lando Torn and backline Hail. I think that also is kind of viable. So their lead is probably going to be like, what? Flutterman Hands? Blood Rain hands lead. Yeah, I kind of actually like leading off with Tailwind a bit better. And then we'll backline Hail. I think that'll work out for the best. Heatran's still pretty good here too, and frankly so is Urshifu. Really, I think that my whole team is actually pretty good in this matchup. I just think though that realistically these are my best 4. I don't really like the Urshifu matchup here, frankly. Not that it's terrible, but it's so Tera reliant, and I think I'm already committed to Tera Articuno because it does a lot better offensive work into this team. Tera Lando might be a thing as well, depending on. They're gonna live with Hands of Mungus. Okay, Hands of Mungus, I really wish that I led off with Hail. But it's actually not too terrible here, frankly. Because I do get a pretty free yeah, I get a pretty free Earthquake here. And then I can go for Taunt into Amoonguss. Yeah, I can go for Taunt into Amoonguss. If they fake out the Torn, good play. But Torn's Covert Cloak, so I'm expecting... Well, Torn is typically Covert Cloak, so I'm going to expect them to fake out the Landers instead and preserve the Iron Hands without having to burn a Tera here. Especially against a team that has an Articuno that could just pretty easily freeze dry them. Nope, they're going to burn the Tera right away. So it's definitely one of the Tera Water Mons. We're not sure which, but it's one of them. It's probably Hands. No, it's a Amoonguss. Moongus for Tera is interesting, actually. I don't entirely get why, but it's not a terrible play, to be fair. Tera Amoonguss is still pretty deadly against my team for what it's worth. I'm just kind of shocked. They are going to fake out the Lando. Okay, this works out fine. That's exactly what I wanted. If they're fake outing the Lando, that means they're not going for something like a Volt Switch into Torn. They're not going for Wild Charge into Torn, just getting the KO here. This is perfectly fine. We've stopped Amoonguss from being useful here. We'll go for the Earthquake, and then I'm going to go for an Air Slash into the Iron Hands. Just for damage, really. I know it's not going to do a ton, but it's something. And even if they do switch into another Mon like Landorus, it's at least damage that I can get off. I think there's a good chance I could just switch Iron Hands right into Landorus this turn, especially since they have burned a Tera now. And then keep... No, they're going to keep both Mons in. I kind of thought they'd either switch out both or keep Amoonguss in and switch out Iron Hands. They might be just trying to go for Volt Switch, which is fine. I'll take that. They might even just Pollen Puff that spot and then go for like a Wild Charge this turn. Yep, go for Wild Charge this turn and Pollen Puff. That's still okay because I'll be able to actually just kill the Hands next turn. And even with that side Pollen Puff, I mean, it's still fine for me. Let's see. So, we did some okay damage. Yeah, I think I definitely just go for the Earthquake again. And then the Air Slash again. I'll go for Air Slash, yeah, just right into the Iron Hands. Because even if they do bring in the Landorus, I mean, I'm max speed Landorus, so it's not really too much of a concern. And their Landorus is adamant. We know that much just because of the open team sheet that they did paste. It has adamant Lando on here, that's good for us. That means that we guarantee a pace, so I can go for just a Rock Slide Flinch next turn, since it should be safety goggles. They are going to switch here. They're going to bring in Chien-Pao, actually. Now, Chien-Pao is definitely pretty good for me because I can Tailwind around this. They're going to switch out to Amoonguss as well. Amoonguss switching out is fine too. Are they going to go into Landorus? Like, we can at least figure out the full 4 now. They're going to go to Urshifu. Urshifu coming in is interesting. I kind of wish that I went for the side Air Slash into that spot like I was originally thinking. We actually do enough damage. We kill the POW anyway. Okay, this kind of works out well. So they're adamant Urshifu and they're Mystic Water as well. They can't Tera. These are all actually really good things to know, I can't lie. They're gonna probably bring in, if I had to guess, the Iron Hands, and they're gonna try and fake out the... Yep, they're gonna fake out the Lando, okay. This is pretty okay for me, actually. What I can do, looking at this, I might just go for Tera Water. I do still kind of like the idea of ending the game with Articuno, because Articuno is looking only that much better now with Tera Ground. Which means that I do need to just go for the Earthquake here, and I need to go for the Tailwind this turn. We're in one of two camps now where either they're going to value taking out the Articuno, or nope, they're going to fake out the Landers. Okay. They're going to fake out the Landers, still assuming that I'm Covert Cloak, which is great. The fact that so many people run Covert Cloak Articuno is really helping me out here. They're going to go for the Surging Strikes this turn. Yep, and they're going to kill the Torn. Okay, perfect. I could bring an Articuno out pretty freely and go for Tera Ground, while also then going for the Urshifu. Actually, I probably won't go for Tera Ground this turn. I'll go for it next turn, though, because I can go for Earthquake plus Freeze Dry and pick off the Urshifu. Which works out really well in my favor. But I do benefit keeping my Earthquake this turn in particular. Oh, I just realized I need to get a new Articuno for my thumbnail. It's fine. We'll go for Earthquake here, and we'll go for Freeze Dry. Because whether Urshifu switches into Amoonguss or not, my best play is always just to Freeze Dry that. Because they're both water types, and they can't Tera around the water typing because they've already done that. So free striking that Urshifu spot is definitely my best play, and then going for Earthquake just to make sure that I can kill the hands again will just be my best play. Hands doesn't really do a lot against my team outside of Wild Charge at this point. It doesn't do anything to Landers for that matter. They're going to switch out into Amoonguss here. That's perfectly fine, because that means Urshifu isn't, and because I have the Tailwind up, it's just going to have to take a freeze dry, which is amazing for us. I love that. Earthquake will go off here. That's free damage to Amoonguss. We will not kill Urshifu here. But that's fine. Thankfully, we did target it with the freeze dry this turn. I can proceed to go for... So I think I just go for Protect on Articuno this turn, and then go for Earthquake. If they go for Fake Out into Landers, it's fine. But I can at least try and avoid the very obvious Spore in Articuno, as I do think that they're now going to value taking out Articuno. So we'll go for Fake Out here. Oh, right, we don't have Protect. Then I do just go for Terra Ground, and I go for Freeze Dry into Amoonguss here. I just try and claim my damage at this point. The Hail Core should do enough damage either way to my opponent. We're going to pop the Terra though. This should help in case they try and go for a bit more of an aggressive play. Now, every single time they brought this Mon in, they've went for the Fake Out straight into Landers. I'm assuming they're going to try and make that play yet again, because it's a pretty good play that they do have in their pocket. But, I mean, I'm fine either way. It's not really a big deal for me regardless. They're going to Fake Out into Articuno this time. Okay, that's what they should be doing, to be fair. But we'll take out the Iron Hands at least. We'll damage Articuno in the process, but it's not really a huge deal. Oh, Articuno didn't take the hit. I mean, I'll take that. I'll definitely take that. I'm not sure why Articuno avoided that, frankly, but I'll take it. Because that... Oh, you know what? Articuno might have dodged because of Brightpowder. Alright, well, this is fine. They actually put Landers to sleep, which is huge. I'll Brick Break just in case, and then I'll go for Freeze Dry into Amoonguss here, because going for the Freeze Dry into Amoonguss is pretty huge. I guess the side Brightpowder worked out pretty well, but I definitely got lucky there. It didn't really matter a ton, to be fair. They, go for Drain Punch after I Freeze Dry Amoonguss and put it in the range of Blizzard? I'm okay with this. We healed anyway. There's no way in hell Landers Earthquake KO'd us, to be honest. Worst case scenario, we had to bring in, Abomasnow. I don't know how that was so hard to say, but Abomasnow, which is Blizzard. They'll go for Drain Punch here. That does a lot. Even with the crit, I mean, again, the worst thing that happened is I just had to bring in the Abomasnow next turn and go for, like, Earthquake plus Blizzard until Iron Hands killed us. So, I'm not really too concerned here. We'll go for Earthquake, though, and I'm going to go for Tera Blast. The Articuno Tera Blast should just pick this off. Landers just wakes up and goes for Earthquake anyway. We'll kill our Articuno, but at the same time, we'll also kill the Iron Hands, so I'm okay with this. Solid. We get a win game too. Hail Core proved to be pretty deadly. We didn't even need the hail aspect of it, frankly, but the Articuno itself just applied so much pressure in this matchup. So I'm more than happy with that. We'll see you guys in game number 3. Okay, moving on to our final game of the day. We're taking on an interesting team for sure. This seems like a Reg C team, but at the same time, it's an interesting Reg C team even still. It does have some things that could be pretty frightening though. For one, the Mimikyu could be kind of annoying. Just depending on... Just the fact that Mimikyu exists alone means that they're going to have a pretty easy time getting up Trick Room. So we do kind of need to value that in our decision making. They're probably Mental Herb. I'm going to bring Urshifu on lead. Just because that'll help a lot with like an Iron Hands lead, for example. I feel like Urshifu Torn actually could be a pretty threatening lead. Because I can go for like a Terra Ghost on Torn. And then... Or even, again, most likely they're going to probably threaten the Urshifu. Which I'm okay with that. Does this Torn outpace Urshifu? We do not. Okay. I don't know if I like that then. I could just lead off with Urshifu Lando and just go for a really aggressive lead. Backline Terra Ground Articuno, because Terra Ground Articuno goes pretty hard here again. And then I think I just go with Heatran. I don't bring the Hail Core to this game, I think. Mostly just because Dirge could be kind of a problem. I could also just go with like Abomasnow Heatran. That could work too. I kind of like Heatran a little more. Well, not Heatran, Articuno a little more. Just because, again, the Terra Ground just does so much damage. Because any of these mons, a lot of these mons could be Terra Grass, viably, like Iron Hands, Sailor Dirge, etc. And having the Articuno as the 50-50 into that is going to be pretty valuable, in my opinion. I will say as well, Dirge, to be fair, could also just be Terra Fairy, which is probably the more likely option. But that's still pretty bad into Blizzard, at least, from Articuno. And even without the Snow Cloak, Brightpowder will still be potentially able to dodge, as we saw last game. They're going to lead off with Grim Mimikyu. Okay, Grim could still have Fake Out, so I do still need to be wary. But I'm okay with this. Alright, so we have Lando and Urshifu here. We're going to go for Wicked Blow into the Mimikyu. I don't want to pop Terra, frankly. I don't think it's worth it. And even still, with the -1, I can't imagine that Mimikyu will actually kill. Just because we're kind of bulky on our Shifu, and on top of that as well, Mimikyu don't typically run Life Orb anymore. I mean, maybe it is. Perfect. They fake out their Shifu. That's amazing for us, actually. Rock Slide will break Disguise, which is really all I need it to do. As long as I outpace Mimikyu, I should be pretty set here. Worst case scenario, I don't, but I figured we'll probably outpace. Perfect. Okay, Mimikyu's gone. It was probably going for Trick Room anyway, to be completely honest, which meant that didn't really matter. Holy shit, I didn't even realize how slow we are in Urshifu. To be fair, we have a lot of bulk. We're 4 defense and 124 HP. So, again, -1. I don't think there was a way that was killing. Which is great. That's really good for us. I'm kind of curious, actually, if that would have killed. Let's see. 124, 4 versus Mimikyu. Because, again, I'm pretty... At -1, I feel like that wasn't killing. That actually could have rolled to kill us. And if it was Life Orb, it actually was guaranteed. But that's still fine. We're going to go for a Detect here, and then I'm going to go for an Earthquake this turn. I feel like just scouting the potential Tera, they didn't actually go for Tera Flying. Even if they went for Tera Flying for that matter, I could have still definitely gotten some good damage off onto the Grim at least, and then went for a Rock Slide plus Wicked Blow next turn, which would have been fine. Because of this, I think I'm just going to go for like a Brick Break plus a... Yeah, Brick Break plus... I feel like, yeah, Brick Break plus Wicked Blow is honestly a fine play I can make here. Thankfully, our Urshifu does underpace Lando, which means that I can just get the Brick Break off and then Wicked Blow the Grim if I really have to. I could also just go for Close Combat, frankly, because that'll at least kill anyway, and it'll do more to Grim. I like that play a lot more, actually. Even if they go for a Reflect, I could shatter that. They cancel the battle. Okay. Okay, so taking a look at our final game of the day, looks like this is just the Worlds team, but with, yeah, it looks like this is just the Worlds team, but it has... Oh my god, Goldengo. I don't know why that was so difficult. Was there a version of this that was ran at Worlds? Because I'm kind of curious, just because I'm wondering what that open sheet looks like. Okay, so there's teams that are like similar enough. Okay, I mean, it is what it is. Either way, looking at this, I'm just gonna assume it's a Worlds team, and then they just threw a Goldengo on over, and we'll just have to live with that. But it's not a huge deal. Having no Flutter actually does hurt this team a lot, because Flutter was a pretty essential part of this team. But we'll take that. No Flutter is pretty good for this matchup, because Heatran's a really good check to it. Also, Lando's a really good check. Lando might be a good Tera here. I kind of like the idea of leading. I like the idea, honestly, just bring the same lead that we did last time. There's merit, to be fair, to bring Urshifu now without the Flutter, and Urshifu actually could do some serious damage, but I still like Lando a lot here. Lando's presence was very appreciated in the last game, and then I could backline Articuno and Abomasnow. I can also just ditch Abomasnow, actually, because I can go for Snowscape if I need to. And yeah, I do actually like Urshifu a lot in this game. Abomasnow is still a very good mon. It can put up a lot of 50-50s. It can cancel pretty much any Amoonguss Tera that's viable, because it's probably not Tera Fire on this team, and even if it is, that just means that Lando massacres it. But I could do the same with Articuno, but better, actually, because I can handle not only the water, but also the fire. Okay, they lead off with Lando and Urshifu. They are Urshifu Rapid, perfectly fine. All of this is very fine for me. They're going to intimidate us. I'm okay with that. Now I don't have a great switch into this at the very least, but I can weaken both of their damage outputs, especially for the Lando. That'll be valuable. And I can go for a Rock Slide here. I can also U-turn, actually. U-turn could be not bad. What's my backline? Can't really bring it either. Okay. Yeah, I just go for Rock Slide, and I go for Tailwind here. Because Tailwind at least will help me with the speed advantage. I will, to be fair, lose out on... So losing out on Snow will be kind of bad. But I kind of do need to bank off of that and just go for the Tailwind, because I think that will be more long-term viable for me. They're going to Tera here already, which is good. I can scout for that already. And it's going to be Urshifu, probably Tera Water. Yep, Tera Water. Okay, that's fine. They're going to lose out on their fighting typing, which is, for better or worse, okay for them. It doesn't really make a huge difference. It's probably just to try and take the Torn hit, which is fair. Our Tailwind should be pretty good here, though. If they're going to value taking out Landorus, I'm very okay with that. They're going to get Rock Slided, though. We can potentially flinch something, which is good. Rock Slide's going to go off. That's fine. Most likely that's Scarf Lando, which I'm very okay with that. Surging Strikes will go off. That should do nothing, and they're going to go for Lando anyway. That's perfect. It's the best mon they could have went for me. And it's the exact reason I did not Tera that, because going for Tera on that would have been a pretty bad turn for me. Okay. So, I'm curious if we can guarantee the KO. I'm going to definitely go into Articuno either way. That's definitely my play here. Let's see. Okay. So, Articuno with Freeze Dry versus Urshifu Rapid. So their Tera Water And we are modest 116. Let's see. So that does a significant amount of damage. We might not KO, but it's kind of worth going for it. And then Terra Ground should help a lot with the Rock Slide. And then I think I just go for the Air Slash just for good measure. To be fair, so Snowscape would definitely be pretty valuable in a sense because it would help a lot with just ensuring we could potentially dodge hits later on. But I think this will be better for the long term. They're actually just going to let me go for this, which is probably the best case scenario. Because by just going for the dual attack into Urshifu, barring an Air Slash miss, this should guarantee KO. There's no way they're predicting around the Terra Ground Articuno, I feel like. Especially not this given turn. Well, maybe Steel. I feel like Steel could be, but even still, I think I'd just try and kill the Torn instead. Okay, perfect. So they're going to let me get this off. We did get the Air Slash off, which means that Freeze Dry will guarantee KO. And on the next turn, I can just value taking out Goldengo, which is good. I'll go for a Tera Blast into that, and then go for a Snowscape on Articuno, because I will no longer need to care about Landorus, which is good. And then I can bring in Urshifu, and Urshifu plus Articuno endgame is actually looking really good here. There's not really a mon in the back they have that actually handles that, and thankfully we killed their Urshifu, which is the biggest threat. Okay, they're gonna bring in the Iron Hands, which is fine. I'll go for Tera Blast here and Snowscape. If they value taking out Articuno, I'm okay with this. Perfect, they're going for Articuno. So we could potentially dodge, make it rain, which is good. Even still, Articuno is so bulky anyway. I think that with Terra Ground, we could just take the hit. This is definitely one of those scenarios where, to be fair, having Terra Water might have been a little bit better. Ooh, they're gonna go for Nasty Plot. Okay. Let's see. So Tera Blast Ground, I'm kind of curious, will this kill? I feel like Tera Blast Ground, doesn't kill. That actually doesn't come close to killing. So they could probably kill us at this point, which is a little unfortunate. I feel like we still just try and go for the Air Slash into this. So we have a couple avenues. We can obviously dodge, which is good. I do kind of need to just get Urshifu in though, which is the unfortunate reality. We could just dodge, make it rain though. Make it rain is still potentially not going to kill, to be fair, depending on how bulky this is. And we might just kill it depending on how not bulky it is. Nope, we didn't kill. Okay, unfortunate. Make it rain goes off. Don't kill, don't kill. Oh shit, we live. Alright, so Articuno could just also dodge into Urshifu, which would be kind of huge. It is going to come down to, unfortunately, if we can dodge or not, which is a little unfortunate. Nope, we don't dodge. Alright, yeah, that's unfortunate. Yeah, my opponent definitely just had us there. To be fair, they probably just killed with Drain Punch anyway, so it's not like the crit really mattered. Goldengo just is a piece of shit mon. I thought this would be a little easier without the Abomasnow. I don't think it really made a difference. Goldengo just got a good position on us, and my opponent just played well. Okay. So, at this point, what do I even do? So I don't think I can kill Iron Hands just outright. I'm just going to try and claim my kill on Goldengo at least. At least just get something else knocked out. And then, oh, they're going to go for Make It Rain and outpace us anyway. They're just going to KO. Okay. Good game, good game. I went for Wicked Blow there just because I thought they might go for like a Protect or something. I wanted to go through it. Or even just like a Nasty Plot, just trying to play around that. Though, to be fair, they probably could just go for Dual Attack anyway. Regardless, so that's going to be it for today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. If you did and you want to see some more content like this, of course, like and subscribe for more. Shout out to our channel members for just a couple $1 a month to get some nice bonus content on the side. This month's channel members, of course, are going to be Zeke0, Mia, Bbat, Timo Mueller, Sam, Rao Plays, Obo, Johannes Speed, Double, Endless Gadgets, and Bam Bambi. Your guys' support on the channel is greatly appreciated, and if you want to become a channel member today for just a couple $1 a month, we do have Photograph as our next members video. It's going to be going up on Sunday. With that said, I will see you guys in tomorrow's upload. Until then, peace out, guys.